here. We just worked with a lot of different people in a lot of different capacities. We do everything from kind of script writing to narrative direction to sensitivity and representational and inclusive reading. We do kind of story punch-ups, script doctoring, whatever touches story, we'll do it, and we've done it for a lot of different people in a lot of different ways. But
guys, we got some shit that I just found recently. Let me tell you guys, just full disclaimer, first of all, I don't like to take credit for finding something that I technically did not find myself. This information I'm about to tell you guys right now, I'm on the page right now of what I just found. I was going down a rabbit hole and I was doing some research on, you know, just the shit I do research on. And I came across this YouTuber by the name of Griffin Gaming. I'm not going to take no credit for this at all. And the video that he put out blew my mind. It literally blew my mind, but it's not surprising at the same time. But this just proves my point. I would not make this video if I did not have evidence and proof for it myself. But since I'm a part of the entertainment industry, from what I want from the future of entertainment, because we all enjoy entertainment, shit like that. We like games, we like movies, we like TV shows, anime, stuff like that, right? So that's my whole spiel. So I care about where entertainment is going. Now, so I'm not going to bullshit. I'm not going to, you know, prolong this. So let me just get right into it. Apparently, the boogeyman that you guys thought that I was just fabricating is actually real. It's called Sweet Baby. We're on the site right now. I like that little circle that they got going on. It's kind of cute, isn't it? You might be wondering, why am I on this Sweet Baby website? Let me show you. Apparently, Sweet Baby, and I think a lot others like this. I don't think this is the only one. I think this is just one of these companies that exists. Sweet Baby apparently is a company, well, let's just see what they say from their own mouth. Founded in 2018, Sweet Baby Inc. is a narrative development and constellation studio based in Montreal. And working around the globe, our mission is to tell better, more empathetic stories while diversifying and enriching the video games industry. We aim to make games more engaging, more fun, more meaningful, more inclusive for everyone. This is a company that actually exists. This is true. I did a lot of deep diving before I opened my mouth with this video because I didn't believe it at first, especially just from the name itself. It says Sweet Baby. That just seemed like bullshit. But the thing is, it's actually true. It's actually very fucking true, and I implore you guys to do your research on it first. But we're going to do some deep dive on this to actually show you, in case you guys think I'm just a conspiracy theory type of guy who just bringing up these type of topics for no reason and basically is ruining your perspective on your entertainment. I'm actually telling the truth here. And I bet you a bunch of other people like me actually thought this was common sense. But so the services that they offer, we believe you need diverse voices to solve diverse problems. Sweet Baby Inc. provides narrative, constellation at any stage of development, boasting a talented team with vetted industry experience to best bring your story to life. They cover writing, narrative, representation, and development. Is this starting to connect the dots with you now? I made a video not too long ago talking about how Spider-Man and Insomniac Games and the Marvel was basically being fake woke. And the reason why I think that is very valid now, because watch this. Let's take a look at their projects. We love making games, no matter the size or scope, and we're always excited to help you tell the best story possible. Fuck you. So let's see what type of projects that they had a hand in. This is actually going to blow your mind also, but it's also going to prove my point. Check this out. We got Sable right here. First of all, I'm pretty sure you guys know about this. Let's scroll down a little bit further. Does these projects look familiar to you? Let me give you a minute. We got Alan Wake 2 that just came out. I don't know what the fuck this is. I don't know what this is, but I'm focusing on the big studios. This is where the big issue lies at. You got Alan Wake 2, which explains why the game isn't about Alan Wake. If you guys remember the last video I just put out, I brought up how Marvel was doing this thing on Disney Plus and just with their entertainment in general, to where they're introducing these side characters, where they're sidelining the main character but calling it what the main character is as the name of the game. Why do they do this?
To influence purchasing decisions.
This just explains why Saga, who was originally white, is now turned black, and why you play the majority of the game as her and not Alan. Am I still a conspiracy theorist now? Okay, let's get into another game. God of War Ragnarok. Angrboda. I personally didn't have a problem with it, but now I know. But I still knew why Angrboda was a black girl and not what Angrboda would really be like in Norse mythology. Nordic. There's no black people there. So the reason why she's black is because these people, Sweet Baby. Is it starting to make sense now? Okay, let's move on to my the game I just talked about, Spider-Man. Worked on story constellation. Do I even gotta explain why it's common sense that these people worked on this game? Do I even gotta explain it? I don't, because I did it the last video. MJ is a fucking menace. She's John Wick with a gun. And the reason why they allow MJ to be the way she is because of inclusion's sake, but it's fake inclusion. It's from these guys. So I believe that there are multiple versions of these companies involving the games industry, because not just the gaming industry, I think it's all of entertainment in general. It's ESG scores that they get to where it's like, how inclusive are your projects, all funded by Daddy Black Rock. Am I saying shit that's gonna get me canceled? I really don't give a fuck, because this is my industry and I take it very, very seriously. Sweet Baby, and I think along with many others, are doing this with movies, TV shows, games, and stuff like that in general. So I'm not just bullshitting. I'm not just saying this shit. I know it gets on your nerves. I know you guys just want shit to be normal. It's not happening. I'm sorry. It's never gonna happen if they're hiring companies like these. These companies are literally doing what people like you say that we are, being just triggered or just coming up with a boogeyman and shit like that. This is the boogeyman. This is literally the boogeyman. Let's see what they worked on in God of War. We worked on narrative and character constellation, which explains Agrabota, with a focus on representation. That's the reason why they changed most of the people in God of War Ragnarok, where it's based off of Nordic mythology and the characters that aren't normally supposed to be that way. Oh, it's not a big deal. Okay. Alan Wake, we worked on character arc, voice, and sensitivity reading. I don't even got to go into that. And then we got the game that looks like absolute shit. I just watched this trailer to this game too. The Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. This game is going to be shit anyway. And now I know why. We worked on script writing, banter, cutscenes, barks. I don't know what that is. Audio logs, maybe collectibles in the game where you collect audio logs and shit like that. They probably have sensitivity and inclusion banter in the game to where it makes it more inclusive for you and safe. Let's check out our clients, the clients that they have. This shit is crazy. Xbox Studios, Electronic Arts, Valve, Sony Santa Monica Entertainment. That just makes sense. 2K, Ubisoft, that perfectly makes sense. Square Enix, I didn't think that. That's crazy. Warner Bros, yep. Rocksteady, makes perfect sense. Arkham Knights, I forgot what they worked on. Avalanche, gee, holy shit. Remedy, People Can Fly, and these are big names that everybody knows. Recently speaking, what I just found was a couple videos that I want you guys to look at right now, because these are the co-founders. And I'm going to just let them say out of their own mouths what crazy shit is going on behind the scenes. Check this out.
We just worked with a lot of different people in a lot of different capacities. We do everything from kind of script writing to narrative direction to sensitivity and representational and inclusive reading. We do kind of story punch-ups, script doctoring, whatever touches story, we'll do it, and we've done it for a lot of different people in a lot of different ways. But I think before we kind of start talking about the story of us, in order to kind of contextualize it and make it relevant / interesting, let's just talk through what it is that we do and how we do it right now, and then we'll go through kind of our history and the learnings that we've had as a kind of unique right now team moving through an industry that is always full of chaos.
These motherfuckers based in Canada, they got 1 star. I wonder why. Oh yeah, here's the video right here with Griffin Gaming. I suggest you guys watch this video because he literally told me this was a good video for me, and I just was blown away. Single-handedly ruined every single IP they put their little hands on. I hope Pillows are gonna. These people are going at it with this company. I'm surprised people don't even know this exists because they only got 21 Google reviews, but people are gonna know today. Oh yeah, they got an hour-long interview session. They got over 100 comments, and they're a very, very small channel. But look at this shit. This right here is the death of art and creativity in the West. There's no positive comment at all about this company. Not one. So glad I found out about you guys. I bookmarked your site to see what games you're working on so I can see which ones to avoid. This is going to be a big upset. This is going to be a huge upset. I don't even think people are supposed to be talking about this. Sweet Baby Inc. destroying narratives. And this is not just... I don't believe this is the only company. I believe there's multiples of these companies. When it comes to movies, when it comes to games, when it comes to TV shows, I believe there's a company like this on every medium of entertainment out there right now. There has to be. Wokeness is an agenda. It's like a religion now. So they got these companies to make sure that religion stays, in line. Especially these companies too. Especially when BlackRock is involved too. That's funding to another level that you can't even talk about that shit. So that's why I'm going to be I'm going to talk about that to a very little degree, because I don't want to give myself in extreme hot water like what BlackRock can do. You don't want to fuck with them. But the thing is, This is why I'm sticking with PC. Yeah, there's not a single good comment. Okay, so first things first, I want to talk about this. I hate when stereotypes come true. I know women just like her. I know women just like her. I could just look at her and just see an activist. She screams, I'm an activist. Guys know what I'm talking about too. I'm pretty sure people know what I'm talking about. I went to regular public schools. I went to art schools. I went to regular colleges, and I went to art colleges. We all know who this person is right here. We all know who this person is. Don't tell me that you don't. You do. Just by looking at her, you know exactly what she's about. And that's a shame. She don't even got to open her mouth. And she's the CEO of Sweet Baby Inc. Both of these guys.
From kind of script writing to narrative direction to sensitivity and representational and inclusive reading.
You hear that bullshit? I want to go back again, just in case if you think that I'm a fucking idiot and I don't know what I'm talking about. I said this before I even saw this video. Let's take another listen.
A lot of different people in a lot of different capacities. We do everything from kind of script writing to narrative direction to sensitivity and representational and inclusive reading.
I don't want to hear another motherfucker tell me that who cares if he's black when the character is not black. Oh, it's just because he's the best person to get the job. Bullshit now. It's bullshit. They're exclusively looking to replace characters for inclusive sake. It's not even a conspiracy theory anymore. It's the truth. So damn, my video that I made on Insomniac is actually fucking true. It's actually not bullshit. And me saying stop being fake woke is not even going to help, because it's that ingrained into the industry now that it's not even a thing to where it's like stop doing this and they can change it. No, it's in their DNA now. There's nothing you can do to stop it. These companies are too powerful. You can't stop these guys because they're ran by a higher entity, BlackRock and ESG scores. And this all has to do with funding, with your money, and how they can change your stock prices. They're able to do shit that you won't even believe when it comes to these companies. So that's the reason why this shit is never going to stop. It's going to keep going. I'm going to tell you guys how to fix it though after this though.
The first thing we do is obviously we have services. We call it a narrative development company. So of all the terms we could have come up with, I think this is the one that encompasses everything we do. We do everything that we can touch on everything that like has to do with narrative within development of games. We don't necessarily always plug into only the narrative team. We sometimes are the narrative team, or sometimes we'll come and like work with designers to shore up.
He just said a bombshell. I don't think you guys realize how big that is. He just said we sometimes don't just work with the narrative team, we are the narrative team. Which means that they can completely infiltrate a product or IP that already exists, and they can just change it just like that. That means that creativity is dead. It's gone. There is no creativity no more. There is no from the mainstream. Let's just put it like that. Because for indie, you can see that shit hasn't affected indie titles yet. It hasn't affected games that are self-funded or companies that are self-funded, small teams, stuff like that. We're talking about big studios, AAA gaming. You can fuck off with thinking that it's not going to be woke anymore. It's all going to be woke. It has to be because these guys are involved. It has to be. He just said we are sometimes the writing team.
Narrative, and so we see every part of a game, and we're able to talk with artists and audio designers and game designers and system designers and economy designers to figure out like how to better tell the story and get the creative direction and the feeling of the game better through all the things that they're all doing. So obviously the first thing that you think of when you hear all of that is narrative direction. That's a role we sometimes occupy on projects in AAA and or indie.
So you do indie too. We're fucked.
The way we work is a bit unique, and we'll go through it later. But we never bring only one person to a project. It's not like Kim will be a narrative director on this project, and then the 16 other people here don't do anything else.
Just imagine her being a narrative director on a project. Just imagine her. Just look at her. Look at her. Look at her. She look like she'll post a black square on her Instagram page. That's just her. Just imagine all the IPs you love, all the games that's coming out. That's why I don't want no new Gears of War. I really don't. I don't want nothing new that was an old IP that I used to love coming out in today's society. I do not want it. I don't want it. Because it's not going to be your game anymore. Okay, so this is going to be another thing that's going to blow your fucking mind too. Or it shouldn't blow your mind. Look at the picture they got for the diversity slide. You think the shit is random still? The CEO and the COO for the diversity slide picked Spider-Man 2. That's enough said right there. But let's hear what they got to say about this.
talked about it briefly, but yes, we have a very, very diverse team, and we believe that diversity is one of the best vectors for innovation in the games industry that people too often ignore.
This motherfucker is so
Like I said
tone
before,
deaf.
we try to be additive in our approach. So we don't show up to a project and say, hey, these are all the problems. You're going to mess up if you do all these things this way. What that ends up doing is oftentimes that we'll sand it down and make something inoffensive and oftentimes, honestly, kind of boring and kind of like too smooth. And so
Jesus
instead,
Christ.
we try to go about it from an additive perspective where we want to bring joy to the player. If you're a player from a marginalized background and you see
You're bringing nothing but fucking pain and misery to everybody who loves games in general. That's what you're bringing. You're not bringing nothing. These guys are so fucking tone deaf. It's not even funny. They don't even know what creative shit is. They just come into your project that already exists and try to make it what their ideology is. That's not creativity. You're not creating something. You're just ad-libbing and adding your narrative to it. You're not a creative company. You don't create nothing from scratch. You don't have no ideas. All you do is have your agenda and your ideology. And you're fucking up IPs that already exist. That's the reason why people don't like you. That's why in your comment section, there is not one good comment. Not one. There's no more than I need to watch about this. I just want to get on here right quick. I'm going to put the link in the description, but I don't want to give them a full view. I don't want to give them a like, none of that shit. I'm just going to skim through this. But the thing is, though, I watched part of this already. I watched most of it. I just wanted to show you guys bits and pieces on what I've been talking about. If you guys want to do deep dive on this yourself, if you guys even care, I'm going to put the link in the description below. But, yeah, I guess I was right the entire time. I guess a lot of people was right the entire time. It sucks. And you guys been saying that, hey, I think you trying to create a boogeyman. This is it. Oh yeah, I did tell you guys I was going to explain what we can do. What we can do is we can self-fund projects now. Now that we know this shit exists, self-funding is going to be the main thing. Support projects that are actually doing this shit themselves, that's not attached to any of these big companies, these funding companies and stuff like that. No, support independent businesses and stop giving your money. This is how you stop people like this. When they show when it comes to the market, when it comes to the ratings, when it comes to all this stuff, like how you did with Captain Marvel. Disney's going to have to do something now. Since Captain Marvel was such a failure, we're going to have to start making games fail in order for them to understand that we don't want this shit. Talk with your money. Peace.